I would use another adjective, but I'm educated enough. So, yeah, pretty much. You would die for that stream? Why, Patrick? Why? Why? As I told you, what would you like to know? They absorbed something called, as I told you, Google Volksgemeinschaft. Volksgemeinschaft, inherited spirit of the Prussian community, the original version of Germany. What is there to... They were socialists. Community. The community consumes the individual. They use propaganda, they distort objective metaphysical reality, and they want to destroy monarchies. The fact that people now think that they were conservatives, well, I'm sorry, I cannot fix ignorance. The name of the party was National Socialism. If the name is not enough, then I have the argument about the Volksgemeinschaft being inherited explicitly by the party. It was the explicit inheritance of the party in the first lines that they wrote. But if the name is not enough, the name was National Socialism. Sorry, I cannot fix ignorance if beyond that you don't trust me. That they were a prominently socialist stance. Which was the conservative stance back then, if they weren't the conservatives? The monarchies. The problem is that nowadays, people don't do that association. That they don't understand that back then, the conservatives were the monarchies. Not the national... let's say the nationalism of that we see nowadays. They were the monarchies. They were a different version of conservatism. They were the monarchies, and Napoleon tried to destroy them 100 years before. I can say Napoleon, and I cannot say the other one precisely. So the French, in general, not everyone, in general, culturally, and the communist Russia, in that sense, not all of them, not all people, some people do think, both sides did the fucking same. So I don't understand why there's an emphasis on then Germany and not the other two. The three of them should be emphasized that they were all communists. The three of them. Communist Russia, Communist France, with the French Revolution, Communist France, and Communist Germany. The three of them. You don't want to use communism? Let's use socialism. They are not synonyms. I know they are not synonyms. But socialism derives into communism. They are different stages. Then they end up killing each other. I don't know if that was the analysis you said you would die for a stream of me talking about those things, but I fulfilled your wish if that's the case. Pretty much that's what I can provide you for now. Was it? Were you pleased with it, Patrick? It was your dream. It was your dream, a stream about that, of me analyzing that. It's like that. If it's everything boring after relativism took hold of society, people, it's boring. It's boring because it all ends up being the same. It all ends up being the same. We are the French Revolution. Freedom, equality, and fraternity. We are the French Revolution. Everyone is the same. Well, that is fucking communism. Everyone is the same. Communism. Socialism, if you want to be precise. Because then communism is when it completely consumes the... When it completely consumes... I like the argument. I love this modern argument. I love this modern argument. Ironically, I'm saying this. I love when people say nowadays, now that you're asking, I don't know why I did find interest in the third version of the Prussian Empire, let's say. I don't know. Maybe the streamers you watched, Patrick. You told me you watched some streamers that discussed that shit. Honestly, for me, it's a boring period of time. Like, they are all the same. If you know what if you get what I mean. Napoleon did it 100 years before. French Revolution. That's why I find British history much more interesting than American history. At least it's something different. At least it's something different. They have different concepts. I don't know. Or I don't know. Swiss history is never explored, and I bet it has a lot of interesting details. History of I don't know, of Bohemia, of Czechia, of Central Europe is much more interesting. The one that is always told is the fucking same. Is the fucking same. We vote at the Congress. Oh, we will be socialists. Bravo. Okay, so original. Let's attack all of Europe. First France, then Germany, the Soviet Union as well. The Soviet Union as well. Yeah, Nick Fuentes, Gypsy Crusade. What the fuck is a Gypsy Crusade? What the fuck? They were all pretty much the same. The Gypsy Crusade. What the fuck? Gypsy Crusade. What the fuck? Like, it's a boring period of time, if you ask me. Quite boring. It's all the same. They were all socialists. There's no variety, no new ideas. I like it when people provide me new ideas. Unique takes. If I'm going to have first the French, then the Germans, and then the Soviet Union, the three telling me the same, let's go socialism, inherited spirit of the German community, equality and fraternity, the French Revolution, and well, the Soviet Union, let's not even talk. Stalin killed. I always forget the number. I don't know if it was 300 million people. I don't know what the fuck it was. It was an insane amount of it. And China, well, the same. Let's not even talk about it. If it's always the same, it's quite boring. For example, something interesting, Patrick, for you that I bet you haven't heard in a while. Why would you say that nowadays Middle Ages are called Dark Ages by your history teachers? Generally, it is because they only remember the early medieval ages, but the medieval ages are divided into early, mid, and late. And the late medieval ages, when precisely Thomas Aquinas and realism flourished. Why call them dark? I think, for example, the complexity of the naming convention Dark Ages. That's a good, interesting topic of debate for a school, for a history class. Why were the medieval ages then named as Dark Ages? For example, well, because the Age of Enlightenment and relativism, blah blah blah, I could tell you, they were adverse to relativism. So there we can see a modern retrospective of how history is being interpreted from a modern standpoint instead of an objective one.
Facility makes me nervous.
Why? You used to haunt abandoned places like this.
Oh, give me a crumbling palace any day. But abandoned laboratories are cold and full of pain.
So yeah, and like that I can other topics. For example, which was the most efficient Roman emperor? That would be a good discussion because you have thousands of years to analyze. Or I don't know. How did ponder about how Socrates discovered logic in the first place? For example, I think that wouldn't reach minds much more than going over World War II time and time and time and time and time and time again with the very same, with people, it's always the same, people trying to 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 ignore the French Revolution and the Soviet Revolution and put all of the blame on Germany, when really, of course, it was terrible,
Aren't they
a
moving?
pile of shit,
Are they just toy soldiers or giants?
a pile of shit, but really it was the same as the French Revolution
They need
and the Soviet, well, Soviet, the Soviet Union. Let's not even mention, but it's the same. Oh, I mean, fortunately, I had a history teacher. You know why I'm not like that? Because I had a history teacher that she precisely despised getting directly into modern history. She thought that to understand modern history, you had to understand. I had a pretty amazing history teacher, the best, and she was young. That goes against what I have in my of society, my ideal society. She was young, on the younger side, 30 something. Well, young. Well, not 50. Let's say middle. Uh, she taught us ancient history first. She taught us ancient history first year. Second year, medieval history. Third year, uh, pretty much. No, sorry, second year, and the Roman Empire. Third year, medieval history. And then only in fourth year, a bit of modern history. And by modern, I mean um, the colonial period with the discovery of the Americas. We're still talking about late Middle Ages, still, with the discovery of the Americas and etc. And barely any modern history, barely any modern history, and it's correct in retrospective. In retrospective, I'm thankful to her to have had that structure for the content. She was right. She was completely right. History is meant to be studied in order rather than jumping directly to World War II like most of the people do. It is true. It is like that. She was right, and I'm thankful to her. Always. In that sense. She was right. She was 100% right. For example, transformation from... Okay, there we go. Transformation or transition, sorry, transition. Transition from the predatory economy in for cavemen to a more sedentary one, let's say. That's the technical denomination. From the predatory economy, to a sedentary one. Oh, they're all guarding a chest there. Nice formation. That's a formation from Total War. This formation was used to fend off cavalry attacks by Napoleon, precisely. If Total War doesn't lie. I saw it in Total War. It's one of the formations you can do. Pretty much. That's why I love Total War. Total War is quite good. That's what we could do about the stream. We could do a Total War stream. I love Total War. If you ever played it, people, we could do a Total War stream and recreate historical events. That would be crazy. That one would be brutal. I always had the idea of doing that, but I don't want to get that. In that sense, that would be a spectacle. That would definitely be a spectacle. Playing Total War, going with the different armies, and analyzing how we are progressing through the map compared to real history. Regarding that one would be interesting. That one would be quite interesting, people. That's a good idea. I didn't recommend it because I don't want to get banned right after my stream hit affiliate. I'll give it a bit more of time, at least, to do something like that. But a Total War stream would be sweet. I love Total War. People, how can you not like Total War? It's a work of art. Total War is definitely a work of art. Has anyone here ever played Total War? If you're watching this as a YouTube bot or you're or you are watching it as a Twitch bot. Okay. Total War is absolutely brilliant and amazing. Absolutely brilliant. 70 item defense, HP regeneration. I know, but the other one is a percentage, and 50% of that one would. Ah well, but 56% of 140 item defense would still be. It's a bit more than 70. It's more or less there, huh? And it has double the poison damage and increased attack speed. No. We'll switch them. It was a close call, but so as they level up, they scale the amount of points that they give you. We need to do a Total War stream. That one would be absolute chaos, especially if you all start participating. Hit points, increase weapon damage or physical damage, dodge value. Oh, it helps you dodge a lot. This one, huh? And it has more critical damage. Good. Dodge value. Well, dodge makes you. Plato was a realistic file. Was Plato a realistic philosopher, you ask? Yes, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle were realistic, but the one that was. I saw a cool book that he wrote. Yeah. He was. Everyone was realistic, pretty much. Well, realistic. They leaned towards realism before the 1600s. Most of philosophers in history before the 1600s were realistic. Patrick, the thing is that they are not remembered because they were all part somehow either of the Catholic Church or I don't know, or the Roman Empire or whatever, and because of that, critical damage. No, I will keep my defense chance. On hit, first strike. Oh, this one deals a lot of damage, but no, it doesn't have any essence. Go, Katarina.
Trusting me with your money?
Yes, go. So we can loot. This is one of the best inventions that they did with this game. Huh? The fact that you can send your companion and making use of the companion system to make it sell the items is absolutely amazing. Plato, you're interested in Plato, Patrick. Well, I would say that the genius was Aristotle, because he's the one that invented realism, the one who rationalized it.
Oh, these things look fully functional. It's just that they don't move. I don't like this.
Which reminds me, if you find a red button, I won't push it, I swear.
They are not moving, people. Oh, the tension. The mobs. What are those? What the fuck? Classic teen soldier? That I could barely see them. Oh, they are so small. What? They are difficult to target. They are so small. No. Wait.
Terminate your hostile behavior.
Careful, they are small but they are dangerous.
I can't do that.
Careful, they are small but dangerous.
Another weird device. What does it do? It's a pity that it looks dead, just like the soldier machines.
Darn it. How do we activate this factory, people? We have to find the big red button. Was Plato realistic? Yes, definitely. He wasn't the father of realism, as he was immediately he was the master of Aristotle. In that sense, Aristotle was a student, but I would say that out of the three classic Greek ones,
The gate is closed. Where do you open these portals, I wonder?
out of the three, Aristotle is the most important one, as he discovered, he rationalized realism. Plato was close, though. because he separated the world of ideas from the world of reality. He just couldn't explain realism with the precision of Aristotle. He was close, and he was a necessary condition, without a doubt. He was a necessary condition, because he separated the world of ideas from the real world, let's say. But he still couldn't do all of the things that you listen to me say every day. The one that did that was Aristotle, and then Thomas Aquinas recovered, pretty much. In the case of Plato, he did a lot of things. I don't remember them at hand, but I have them written down in something that I wrote not so long ago, that I summarized all of the main points. But yeah, basically that. He made sure, precisely, there's the big red button that we need. Yes! There we go. Like that, we activated the factory. There we go. Prototype. Hey, I'm using an outdated skill tree. I should update my skill tree. Careful, those are quite dangerous. Those ranged attackers deal a lot of damage. Do I have my Sikermatons up? Ah, no, I didn't have my Sikermatons. That is shitty. I knew there was something wrong. Okay, I think we activated the factory, people. It's incredible the perfect abstract complexity of the gameplay mechanics of this game. I love how this game always remains fresh. I love it. I absolutely love it. Which was the book that you saw that Plato wrote? Patrick, I can't imagine which one it is, but you tell me. I can't imagine which one it is. But which one it is? Maybe it's a different one. He wrote a lot. He generally wrote, was it him, the dialogues with his students? I think it was. When he was training his students, was something that I don't remember. So it's been a lot of years. I can't remember everything. People, even I have my limits. But yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much. In that sense. Hey, the abstract... I love the floating damage numbers of this game, that I could enlarge them in the end. I love that the game uses an elemental system as well, but the one thing I love the most is the precision of the point-and-click system. It is the least floaty... Oh. Prototype Giant, almost 30k health. Let's burn through it. Let me activate the Ghosts of Katarina there. What the? Where did that damage come from? I love everything about this game. How big the numbers can be. The enemy variety. He wrote a book about the ideal society. Okay, it's the one that I thought about. He wrote a book about the ideal society. Okay, in which the elderly, precisely, the one in which he splits it in different classes. Yeah, I'm beginning to remember. It was my exam on first year of a society where the politicians would be realistic philosophers. The elderly from Greece. The Gen X Council. There, I remember the name. The Gen X Council. Gen X is old. The Gen X Council. The wise are the ones that govern society. Indeed. It sounded to you a bit familiar with me. Maybe Patrick. Yeah. He structured the society. You have to understand the context of him. This is something that I do remember. Plato saw how his master, Socrates, was pretty much... Remember the sophists that I mentioned? He saw how his master, Socrates, was sentenced to death by the sophists, who were the relativists actually of that time. He was sentenced to death, so he wanted to, for the future, save
is already broken.
He wanted to fix the unfair perception he had of society that had killed his poor master. That's what happened to him. It would be realistic philosophers, indeed, indeed. Not realistic because technically, until Aristotle, they wouldn't be technically realistic, but they were like the wisest citizens of Greece, the Gen X Council. Yes, yes, and they would be the opposite of the sophists. Indeed, because they had killed his master, of course. What he was going to do? If someone kills your master, this is like in Star Wars. Imagine that precisely. Darth Sidious kills Mace Windu in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. What would the apprentice of Mace Windu think? He never had apprentices, if I remember correctly, in the expanded universe. But anyways, in the apprentice of the Jedi Master, what is he going to think about the Sith Lord that killed his master? Oh, this is the same with the Sophists and everything.
You must be Van Helsing. Your fame precedes you,
Pretty much.
sir.
So Plato
My
saw
name
that the
is Tony
Sophists
Simcoe,
and
and I
relativism
used to
killed
work
his
for the
master,
scientists of
so
the
he tried
Phlogiston
to
Society. Hopefully
reorganize
the
society
Lord
with
catch
that
you.
one.
What is this place anyway?
I don't
An
remember the
abandoned
name of the
research
book,
facility.
but
When
yeah.
I had to flee my mentors, I found refuge here. I also brought some important documents with me. Take a look.
The blueprints for an improved generator by Heinrich von Sturm. I'll take it. I see some notes by Dr. Blavatsky on human mind and body. What do you want for them? +5 ability points. The blueprints for an improved generator to fix them. 5 ability points. Shit, this is a tough decision. One option, this one locks me out of a portion of the content, and this one takes 5 ability points from me. If I choose this one, I lose the 5 ability points of this one. You know what? This one will make the game overall harder, so I will choose this one.
Improved generator by Heinrich von Sturm. I'll take it. I'm not asking much. I'd like to get into your secret headquarters before I die out here. If you accept me, the document is yours. Welcome to the Resistance, then.
Perfect. I do feel a bit like an idiot for resigning to 5 ability points for the skill tree people, but it will only make the game harder, so I win in the end. So I win in the end. I win in the end, I guess.
I can't do that.
Where is the improved? Where do I place the things, the blueprints for an improved generator? I think it was over here. Pretty much. So yes, Plato structured society like that. Indeed. See, well, but see that, Patrick, how interesting it is a concept. How interesting it is a concept. But Plato wanted society to be ruled by the wisest, not by the majority. By the wisest. There you can see the difference. Who was wisest wasn't the majority. See the difference. Here, can I fix this thing now? Or what? Or what was I supposed to do with those blueprints? I cannot interact with anything else. What am I supposed to do? Collect 5 rat bones, get to the waterworks. Get to the waterworks. Okay. Interesting. I think the exit is over there? No, wait. The map is also quite big, if you ask me. But see that in that society, the majority wasn't always right, Patrick, for example. The wisest were chosen for that. See the difference? It's absolutely realistic. The majority, who cares about that? They cared about who had the best perception of reality, precisely. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, people, regarding the game, the early game gameplay mechanics, I love the abstract complexity of it, the precision of the point and click system. I like the enemy variety in this game. See how narrow some of the passages are, creating a natural source of the difficulty, perfect influence of the level design on the gameplay mechanics. The ambience is amazing, the soundtrack favors it 100%, the music leans more towards an eerie or mysterious, refined soundtrack. I have to highlight that constantly, because it's quite unique. I love how this game is culturally rich because it uses all of the culture of the developers. Oh, what? Look at that feral hook beast. Speak about enemy variety. Speaking about enemy variety, the Volcano in this one, yes, this one is a bit recycled, but it's a swamp. It does make sense. It's quite unique, huh? I love that you can manipulate the size of the floating damage numbers. It's quite satisfying, but above all, the double resource system that the game uses, in combination with the abstract complexity of the skill tree, makes the game amazing. The fact that killing enemies fills your rage meter right here, allowing you to use the multipliers. The concept of multipliers is fascinating, that they enhance the standard abilities of the skill tree, people, as you can see here. For example, when I press A, as you can see, the Viper's Bite increases the damage over time to 50%. But it does not stack. Then I'm doing it 3 times, then it doesn't make sense. I have to use only one. Okay. So the fact that the game forces you to take care of to manage 2 resources, and the fact that mana regeneration so far is quite scarce, combined with the companion system of having Katarina as a tank, or a DPS, or whatever you can switch her role, makes the game quite unique. Do you think humanity loses empathy? You say, Patrick. That's your great question. Do you think humanity loses empathy? Humanity lost empathy after relativism, after the 1600s. Why? Because when you take for granted, as Nietzsche took for granted, that human existence serves no purpose, what you asked me last time, when human existence doesn't have purpose on its own, what I told you, remember the story about how in medieval times it was, oh, well, I'm going to go to hell or heaven, and modernly, the existence of the metaphysical action in the plane of time and space, regardless of what we think, if you help a beggar, if you help a homeless in need, even if then you turn into a bad person, the good deed existed in time and space. A medieval interpretation of this was that people were going to go to heaven or hell accordingly, depending on their good deeds. The second this is eliminated, with or without the religious component, modernly, as I've told you, my interpretation is without the religious component. Regardless of it, the second you interpret that human existence has no purpose, then not only depression, but also what you are pointing at, losing empathy for other people, is born. Pretty much. On top of that, I would add as a second moment after the initial enlightenment, the initial age of enlightenment, with Immanuel Kant and Nietzsche in the 1700s. On top of that, I would add that Obama is responsible. Not he. I point at him because he's the executor. The executioner, let's say.
What are you doing with this ugly and stinky weed? Oh, wait. Are you picking flowers for that Romani girl?
Purchase, my precious, but read cover us with you.
Oof, reference to the Lord of the Rings. And a goat. Reference to the Lord of the Rings and a treasure goblin. Don't let him escape. Don't let him escape.
I need healing. I don't have enough mana.
No, we need to kill it. It's a treasure goblin. Please, I'm so close. It's over. He's not dying. Yes! Treasure goblin secured. Now I don't have any mana to kill the enemies. I think it's not that. Okay, give me a second so I don't die. That was my initial comment regarding Nietzsche and the initial wave of enlightenment. I think every time there's a new wave of enlightenment that attacks humanity, we lose a bit more of empathy. When I say Obama, Patrick, he was the executioner, the executor of it, pretty much the one who executed the plan. Maybe it was another one who devised the plan, I don't think it was him. But basically I point at him because he had the goal to execute it, something so terrible. I think that after this last administration, these last 10 years of Democrat rule in the United States, we've lost as a whole as well a lot of empathy. Because every time relativism is exacerbated, every time the age of another new wave of the Age of Enlightenment is exacerbated, yes, you lose more empathy. Why? Easy, because human life serves no purpose. The more you think human life serves no purpose, well, how are you going to feel empathy? You tell me. I don't know if you would picture any way, but I can assure you it's impossible. And that's how you get people saying that animal lives are more important than human lives. Have you ever heard the phrase, my dog or my cat is better than human beings, for example? That one is a classic. 12 mana per enemy killed. We're saved, people. That goblin was his precious, precisely. It's a ring like in the Lord of the Rings. Amazing reference to the Lord of the Rings. 12 mana per enemy killed. That is amazing. Like in the Lord of the Rings. Good, amazing reference. Extra points to the developers. Even a stupid detail like that, they added it perfectly because he didn't drop anything. He dropped a pretty good ring. I love this game so far. I love this game so far. You could see it, people. He dropped a ring. My precious. Yes, indeed. Quite good. Quite good. The game. Quite good so far. I am thrilled by it. Okay. Now I read the comment. But yeah, what I tell you about pets, I don't doubt that people should love their pets, but of course they have no logic. Human life is always more precious, more important than pets. People, please, it's more important. I know that you love your dog and your cat and etc, and they are quite good to you and everything, but you wouldn't trade them for a real child or your loved ones or those things. Of course, I don't doubt that you love them, etc. But it's what I'm telling you. It's what I'm telling you. There is a common theory, which seems fairy tale to me, that every president in the world are controlled by other rich people, like a group of bank owners. We can call it Illuminati, etc. Yeah, Lizardmen, let's say. What's your opinion about this? What would you tell to the person who believes that? No. Let's begin with reality. All politicians, Patrick, need money. To be a politician, you need money. That is absolutely true. That is not part of a fairy tale. All politicians need money behind them to become politicians. You cannot do politics without money. It's impossible. You need money. So yes, they all indeed have... They don't need to be banks, but the bank precisely it does work with money. So it's the perfect fit. It doesn't need to be a bank, but it needs to have. It is called here in Argentina. It's called the red circle, like the red circle of companies. The close inner circle, let's say, not red circle. Here we call it red circle, but the inner circle of companies that support those ideas that generally earn money with the policies that the politician is promising if he wins the next election that he has and whatever. Yes, without a doubt, there is a component of that is real. The part of that would lean more towards a conspiracy theory, saying that which wasn't controlled, that the politician is completely controlled. I think not all of them are completely controlled. For example, Trump. In the case of Trump, he has money on his own. He doesn't seem to be controlled as he has money. He has always had money on his own. So it's a bit more difficult that he responds to other ones, or my president, for example, or others. And they don't need to be conservative. I want to believe there are some that are not conservative that also are not controlled. In that sense, I keep that hope in me. Some should not. It is true that I do believe that not controlled directly, like you'll do this, you'll do this, you'll do this, but that they don't give you the money if you don't promise certain policies. For example, yes, that does exist. I don't know if you meant that. The fact that they are controlled by the, let's say, for example, Masonry or Illuminati, and those. The Illuminati, Masonry did exist in France in the revolution, but maybe it's not what you would see in a movie, that they use the tunics and they sacrifice the goats and etc. But what is called, the thing is that we mysticize all of those things, and we shouldn't, if you ask me. There was Masonry during the French Revolution in that sense, but what were they? They were just people who didn't like kings, who didn't like that they wanted to do whatever they wanted in that sense, and the monarchy was a limit to them. What I would tell the person, I would tell them, no, yes, that politicians need money. You cannot do politics without money. But the part of the mysticism that they turn into lizardmen, well, that one is a challenge to intellect a bit more. That one is a bit more of a challenge to intellect, the Satanist calls and all of those things. What I would say, I think they all respond to China much more than any cult. Anyways, I think they do respond to money. Money is their god. So I would say that it's a bit more realistic, precisely. They respond to money. The highest bidder. China, I would say. China. And Ursula von der Leyen. And I think China is behind her. In the case of Europe. In the case of Obama, yes, banks. I would say that Mr. George S. does back, and Bill Gates, they both back the 2030 agenda directly. That is true. They even signed the documents, if you ask me. But I don't think they eat. They drink blood of children at night. I guess. It doesn't make fucking sense as what the superstitious portion of it would, or that they turn into lizardmen or whatever. That part I think is a challenge to intellect. But I do believe that yes, they do move money, being realistic, to benefit their own, to get money. They want money because of relativism, because money basically is all they can be. It's a very sad existence at the end of the day. I think it's more about money. And yes, the part of the money, yes, politicians do need money. But the part in which they turn into lizard men and they do the children sacrifice and etc. That one, yes, is a challenge to intellect. It is true that after Mr. O, after Obama, basically, since they legalized the marriage between supposedly two males and etc. It is true, and the abortion, etc. It is true that when you relativize those concepts, you give the population ideas. You are not being responsible, and you give the population ideas that then you turn into a fucking monstrosity, and then the imagination can derive it into anything like the Lizardmen and that shit. But or the Illuminati and etc. But when you do things that are unnatural, and you do such unnatural things and relativize such evident truths of humanity, like a male is a male and a female is a female, you give the population, and especially people who are superstitious, the idea that those things are not away from reality, that they are within possibility. Because tell me this, Patrick, if I say that a man can be a woman, then what prevents a man from then fucking a cow or a goat or whatever the fuck? If love is relativized instead of between a man and a woman. Because if I start, then a person will tell, no, you can do it with man and man, supposedly, and etc. You can do wicked acts. Then why can't I go and grab my cow and do whatever I want with the cow? Like that. See, that's relativizing the concept. The person said that well, the same. Controlling the USA, those were the exact words. Just to be, it's pretty much the same. Financially, I agree with what they say. Financially, I agree. Since Obama, yes. After 2008 to 2010, maybe not that one. I don't want to give a specific name, but maybe one of them or whatever, or them all combined. But financially, I don't believe the part in which everyone turns into a lizard man. When we start with that, yes, there it goes to shit. But yeah, financially, yes, they do. They not that one, but a lot of them. They do have a huge capital. Who is going to say here that Bill Gates is poor? And he doesn't invest in different companies. And some companies win and some don't because of the investment. They do, in that sense.
I can't do that.
There we go. The part of the money, I do believe it. Of course. The part that I don't believe is the part of them turning into lizardmen or the Yeti or whatever the fuck, or zombies or whatever. But the part of them controlling a portion of the market, yes, for sure. What I would tell to the person to believe in the money movements that they do.
Where is it? Show yourself, monster.
What are you talking about? What monster?
The creature that controls your mind and made you pick up that flower.
Why? Why can't a man simply admire nature?
Because that man is you.
So yeah, pretty much. Regardless of which name we use or whichever person may be, I think no one will say that George S., that one that you named, or Mr. Gates, they all have a lot of money and can control the market in a lot of cases. But yeah, I don't trust the part in which everyone becomes a vampire and we start in the superstitious side of things. But the economic portion, that they control politicians, yes, I think Ursula is controlled by the Chinese, for example. By the Chinese, or by these people that we are talking about. The same for Obama, that's what I'm telling you. But he was the executor. And I blame and I judge people for their actions, and he executed all of the wicked ideas. And as I've told you, the other thing that I would tell is that when you relativize such natural concepts such as love, with the things that I discuss with Pillow every day and etc., it's also quite irresponsible for a politician. It's also quite irresponsible, because at that point, then what prevents another person, as I told you, from telling me, then I have my cow and I am in love with my cow. Ah, but that one is way too much. Ah, okay, but you relativize the concept. See how dangerous it is. And doing that is what I cannot forgive all these people for. Relativizing natural concepts is quite dangerous, people. Nature is not something for us to toy with like that, I think. Because at that point, what are you? What? That's a great question to ask to Pillow next time. To do a reduction to absurdity. Then what happens if a person comes and tells you, I love my cow. I grew up with my cow. I want to marry my cow. Then what? Then what? What do? We let everyone marry a cow? Ah, but I love my cow. And love is love. And that's it. See how dangerous it is. There I did a reduction to hopefully I did a reduction to absurdity, and there hasn't been a person who has done this in real life. Hopefully it's a real reduction to absurdity. But imagine that. When you do that, the superstitious individuals that you are mentioning, Patrick, well, you are a bit feeding that. You are feeding that you are not being a responsible politician, a responsible leader. That's why I say that relativizing concepts of nature is dangerous. And why relativism is dangerous. You see, I bet you see the point. And I hope no one comes and puts me a link in chat in which already someone asked to marry his cow. Or her cow, or whatever. I just hope it still hasn't happened. I married, that someone said, I will marry my cow. No. Please. But well, there you have the point. When you toy with that...
Another flower.
Katerina, stop pestering me. Nothing is wrong with me.
That thought is perhaps even more unsettling.
So, is that, people? Is that basically, Patrick, that you are... If you're trying to be a responsible leader, can you do those things? No, you are feeding the superstition. Next time you're going to tell me that you go dressed as a fucking lizard man, you know it's not real, and people with I don't want to say with a brain, with an accurate perception of reality will tell that it's a joke. But imagine if a politician came up dressed as a lizard man with a costume and did the discourse as a lizard man. What would happen? Well, you are feeding the superstitious people. You are feeding that. Imagine that for a second. You are feeding it, Patrick. You are feeding it. It is indeed needed to be responsible if you're a leader. And don't do those things. That's what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you. You're a bit feeding it, so I understand why some people think those things that you are telling me. The economic portion, 100%. 100%. It is. To do politics, you need money. You need money 100%. It's impossible to do politics without money. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. No, but I get donations from... Doesn't matter the source. Money. It is impossible. So the economic part, 100% I agree. The superstitious part, in which we start to talk about vampires and shit, well, no. Is what I'm telling you. but I do get that it's being fed to the weak of mind, I guess. Let's just say that, for example. Because that's not being a free thinker, people. If I start saying that all politicians are lizardmen, imagine that. That's not being a free thinker. That is.
You are gathering a bouquet for pretty Sophie.
And she brews potions, and these strange flowers could be useful ingredients.
You can explain everything.
Oh yeah. Don't know if I answered your question, Patrick, but pretty much. In the case of the United States, no. I think the will of the people is still being interpreted with the current administration and everything that we've seen so far. I do believe that there's a lot of investment. Yeah, it was perfect. I believe there's a lot of investment, yes, on the side of the Democrat Party. For example, Roe v. Wade was on her deathbed. I read the sentence several times. On her deathbed, Roe, which isn't the real name, she admitted that she got paid by the Democrat Party to start the case, which is very generic, but it's a too wide topic to discuss, I think, at night. No worries. I still have what hour? What time is it? What time? Well, I'm close to finishing, but as I started later and tomorrow is my birthday, so I will stop it here. Also, I have 10 more minutes, and I think it's enough for it, depending on the question. Otherwise, I reply it next time. Anyways, fortunately you joined at the beginning, so. But it will be on Tuesday, so it will be a lot. I will leave you with the doubt. Fire away the question now. Fire away. Fire away your question, Patrick. Fire away your question. Fire away your question. I love your questions. I love the debates that we have. Because then otherwise you will have to wait until Tuesday. Yeah, that would be cruel. I wouldn't like that to happen to me. I wouldn't like that to happen to me, to wait until Tuesday for it. I will only use 15 minutes. Maybe I give you an incomplete answer, but, well, at least you'll have a portion of it. In that sense. Fire away, Patrick. Don't worry. Don't worry. Shoot. Shoot your question. It was perfect. No, it's like that. I do think, for example, as I was telling you, Roe v. Wade, and she confessed, it's not her real name, Roe, that she was paid by the Democrat Party to start the case on her deathbed. She got a house after it, after the case. I mean, seriously. She got... Why communism failed and was a huge problem. Yeah, you were right, it's a long question to answer. But basically, I can give you some thoughts. Why is it that communism always fails? Because the different factions kill each other. This would be a practical answer. Because then the different factions kill each other. In the French Revolution, in Soviet Russia, and etc. Axis, how are you doing? Hello, how are you doing, Axis? Sorry, I was about to finish because tomorrow is my birthday. I feel so bad. You scarcely sometimes visit me on stream, and I was about to finish. How are you doing, Axis? Patrick, this is Axis. He's from Poland as well. He's the first subscriber ever of the channel. Hey, why don't you have the sticker of first founder subscriber? You should have it. You had it back when you did it. I think you can choose them. You should have the founder subscriber badge there. I think you can choose them if you click on your profile. How are you doing, Access? How are you doing? I'm wondering, Access, because you discovered the channel and you subbed. I wonder if you watched any of my VODs in which I debate about society and what do you think, if you now hate me, if you now appreciate my content. It is a huge question that I have, Axis. How are you doing, man? You wrote me over at Discord. I wonder that always. That all the time. Ever since you visited on a stream. If then afterwards you watched any VODs with the crazy debates that I have with the rest of my viewers here on stream about society and everything. Hopefully you don't hate me by now. if you watch any of the VODs. A lot of work and my studies have started. You study like Umbra. May I know what you study? You're going to university. That's interesting, Axis. That's interesting. Umbra went to university last week. He's also from Poland in the western border. He's Rolek, I think it was a city that Umbra told. It was so sad. Umbra told me, I'm going to university, but before I go, I wanted to tell you. And well, and that was the last time I saw him 2 weeks ago. That was so sad. Whenever any of you have to go to university and you have to tell me goodbye for some time, it's the saddest moment of the stream because I went to university. I know how it is.
Nonsense. You have a whole stinky bouquet. Take it to Safi.
So yeah, pretty much access. It's the saddest moment of the stream whenever someone tells me. Ambra told me that the other day I have to go to university. Oh, I have to go to university. But I came here. He came here to tell me about it, and well
Van Helsing,
that he was going there.
right in time.
It's like the sad ending of a movie, people. It's like the sad ending of a movie.
There is a boat.
Hope it's not the ending and he returns, because he actually goes back and forth between his home and university in that case. I don't know if in your case, Axis, you live at the university or you go back and forth between the university and your home. But for him it was like that, and like that.
Turn on the light. Will you do that? I'll do that, my friend.
So it's pretty much that, people. It's pretty much that.
I can't do that.
The lighthouse here. But well, pretty much Axis, you always have all of my crazy bots available with all of the things that I debate with my viewers. What I can tell you, if you watch any of them, always think that everything that I say is with my, as I tell everyone, with my best intention to encourage critical thinking and a great society. So if you see that I say some unpopular things, even today or other days, it's like that. So hope it is enjoyable. It's a spectacle, especially when we have long debates with everyone here on the channel. For example, Crowbar, the other day, he visits as well. He has a lot of work as well, so he cannot visit me every day. He's my oldest viewer from the United Kingdom there. So yeah, pretty much both you and Crowbar subscribed, so I can never forget any of you. So yeah, access. This stream is like an internet coffee house. Access, this is Patrick. He's from Hungary. He always loves my debates and my streams. He's amazing. Oh, well, thank you, Axis, for subscribing again for 2 months. There it appeared, the founder badge of it, but you should have it. Well, thank you, Axis, from the bottom of my heart. You're incredible. Axis, please. I just hope that if you ever watch any ball and you listen to something, the same thing I told to Crowbar, but in the case of Crowbar, he was one of my oldest viewers, so I have a lot of. I have talked with him a lot, and since 2 years ago, and I have a lot of confidence with him, and I know he doesn't get offended by anything he has told me. Please never get offended with any of the things that I say. I am extremely. Whenever someone subscribes, I then think, poor person, he subscribes to the channel, and then maybe I say something that he doesn't like, and I will feel bad for the person, not for myself, for the person. In that sense. So no. +1, this is stream like an internet coffee. Axis, you have always the balls. When I, besides analyzing the games, I debate with my viewers in a quite respectful way. We are all well mannered. Pillow is there. He's a work in progress correction for me. Pillow, it takes a lot of effort for me to correct. For me to correct him to make him a fine British gentleman like I am. No, joking. He's brilliant. He's brilliant. But yeah, pretty much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, Axis. All of the bots. If you don't have time because you work and do all of those things, you always have the bots available. Fortunately for 15 days. What kind of game is this? It looks interesting. Perfect. Let's get into the review. Patrick, your question about communication, please understand, I will get to it in depth. If you want it right at the beginning of the stream on Tuesday. Sorry, it's just that tomorrow is my birthday, so I will finish a bit earlier today. Right, Patrick? So please, he doesn't have a lot of time to visit the stream as well in a lot of cases, right? So this is the incredible adventures of Van Helsing's Axis. I always wanted to play this game. For me, it's a 10 out of 10. You see? It's an isometric action RPG. It's a Diablo clone. You know that I hate that naming convention because it doesn't give any absolute definitions. This guy that you see here, The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing, is supposedly the son of the legendary vampire hunter Van Helsing, Axis. By the way, I haven't checked Discord in case you replied. If you wanted to vote Axis for the next game, I know the poll closed, but don't worry. Tell me the game over at Discord or here that you'd like, for me to play. You can look at the poll and write the name as I told you, because I could only create a poll for 2 weeks. If you wanted to pick the game, since you subscribe to the channel, of course I can take it into account, your opinion. Whenever I offer to Crowbar, Crowbar has already told me the game he wants me to review in exchange for Shams. Well, so yeah, pretty much. Choose from the poll, even if it's closed. You write the name. I could only do 2 weeks. You tell me which of those you'd like me to play. The big South American guy with millions of dollars in his bank account teaching to Vulcan. No, what are you saying, Patrick? No, Patrick, no, it's not like that. No, you corrected the American denomination that I told you that American could be. No, it's not like that. No, Patrick, all the best. Lots of health, happiness, and of course, money. May you fulfill your dreams and make all your wishes come true. Poland is with you. I created that emote that he used precisely because, you know, this emote is for all of you, my dear Polish viewers. Precisely the one that Patrick is using there. Since you are majority in the channel, there you go. There you go. I created the Polish embassy flag in that sense. So, regarding the game, I highly recommend it to you. It's called The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing. I will go to sleep now. Have a good night, boss. Be always this American handsome. It's not like that, Patrick. It's not like that. I teach English. Patrick is my... If it's not rich. It's not rich. My family is not millionaire. They were immigrants. They are middle class, upper middle class, because they worked a lot. Not me, my family. It's like that. It's not like that, Patrick. It's not like that. It's not like that. It's not like that. Bye, Patrick. He's joking. Have a great night, Patrick. Have a great night, Patrick. Axis, the game, I highly recommend it to you. This one, it will have a lot. Here, I'll show you the skill tree. If you like, you Ender like Path of Exile, that you were in the same guild in Drakensangonline. Here I'll show you the skill tree, just to have a brief summary, since you don't have a lot of time to watch the stream as I go analyzing it. You can see that the skill tree is quite similar to Path of Exile, but it uses something called the multiplier system. You can see that I pick the talents, and then you can pick active multipliers. Right, Axis, active multipliers. Poison damage over time here, for example, it's increased by 50% after I get this poison shot ability. It's basically damage over time and area of effect damage. So it has some passives here that you can pick only at a specific levels of this one. For example, I had to spend 10 points to access both of the passives. And then the active multipliers. I will show you if I find some... I should be able to find some enemies. I don't think I killed everyone in here. But basically, here I will show you. If I teleport to the city and move to another one, to another zone, for example, you will see that there's a number when I fight enemies. For example, no, well, here I killed everyone as well. I have been killing everyone. Let me go to somewhere where there's still enemies, because another thing of this game is that you can enhance replayability because the enemies spawn. For example, let's go to... I got it. Let's go to the first area that I played when I started the game last week. You will see. There's an option in the settings which allows you here respawn enemies. Enemies will respawn when you leave the game and return later, every time you reopen the game. And you will see, pay attention to this, to the Viper's Bite there, right? See that I killed the enemies. You can increase the size of the damage numbers there. But look at this. I activate the power up actively. There you can see that there's a 1. And it deals more damage when that happens, that extra 50%. This one doesn't stack, but as I progress through the games, we'll have abilities. For example, if I do this, up to 3, I'm wasting it, because this ability doesn't stack. But some do stack. So it has an active multiplier system for the abilities that makes it quite amazing. I'm playing on Fearless difficulty, the highest available, doing a 100% completion. It has a perfect chemistry. The Van Helsing, the son of the legendary vampire hunter of Dracula, of the noble Dracula. And as you can see, I'm using that yellow bar in the center. It uses 2 resources, this game. It uses mana for the abilities that I'm activating, that you can see here. For example, here I created several images of my tank. It has a companion system. But you can see that you have to pay attention to 2 resources. To mana, to activate the abilities, and to the rage, to apply the multiplier as a second layer of complexity on top of the ability. That's so you have a more or less an idea. It's a Hungarian game from 2015, from Neocore Games. I explored all of the history and everything. That is quite amazing. It's the predecessor of Warhammer Inquisitor Martyr, in case you like the style of this game. And there's another thing. The relationship between the usage of potions and the gameplay mechanics of this game is amazing, because you can see that I don't have potions in my inventory. There you have my inventory as I dispatch the mobs that respawn constantly, so it has a lot of replay value. Pretty much. So you can see that I don't have any potions. The potions are used, like, by default, every 30 seconds. The relationship between the usage of potions and the gameplay mechanics is quite good, people. Anyone else watching this as a YouTube bot as well. I like that the game doesn't make you spam potions constantly with that 30-second cooldown. Pretty much. It doesn't let you spam potions constantly. I always highlight, poor game, right? Right, people. I always cite Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning as the worst example. In that game, you can spam potions endlessly. It's an amazing game. I love that game. But you can spam potions endlessly. Here, the relationship between the usage of potions and the gameplay mechanics is pretty well balanced. You can see, there you can see the cooldown. 30-second cooldown. And they solved the usage of potions like that. It's perfect. Another option would be to, for example, silence the player, prohibiting the usage of potions, for example. But they went for a 30-second cooldown, for example. In that sense. As for the rest, I can show you the companion system. True, I have to show you the companion system. More or less, just so you have a brief summary. Your companion, which is Lady Katarina here, which has amazing dialogue lines. I love the chemistry between Katarina and the son of Van Helsing. You're basically a vampire hunter going through Eastern Europe, through the fictional continent of Borgovia here, and you can see here that you have the equipment. You can manage the behavior of the artificial intelligence, which is quite advanced for 2015. Just make sure you get the final cut, if you are interested in the game access. The final cut, in that sense. Get the final cut edition, because that is the trilogy. You can find the first one, the second one, or the third, like individually, and well, you need to get the final cut. Here you can increase her attacks and everything, her stats. Here you have the stats. Basically, things that I will go analyzing throughout the days. And then the skill tree of your companion. It uses a companion system. Here, so it has a mini skill tree, 3 skill trees to choose from. As you can see, so far I have only explored the one that you get by default at the beginning because it's more like a tank. I wonder if the other ones work more like a healer. Yeah, this one maybe is more like a healer. Because this one here I see that... Or a tank, I don't know. It's basically like that. Develop the ability to reinforce healing your wounds in... Well, this one is like a healer. For example, you can change... I love that it has more strict roles in the usage of this companion system that it has than the average isometric action RPG game. As for the rest, something that I think is amazing, I love big, huge damage numbers, people. I love that I could increase the size of the damage numbers. You must be thinking that for anyone watching, that's stupid. Who cares about that? I like it. I like huge damage numbers like this, and this is not the biggest you can go for. I have it in medium. Here I'll show you. The floating text size. I have it at here. You can at 45. It can go up to 100. Here you will see something crazy. You'll see how big they are now. I tried at 100 at the beginning. I had to do the test. Here, I'll show you. Get ready for some huge numbers. No, look at that. Look at that. That one is absolutely amazing. Look at that. The thing is that you don't see the mobs if you do that. I love that. It's quite versatile, the game, as you can see. At the beginning, if you watch my first build of the game, then they are extremely small, the numbers. And then I set for 45%, but quite good. As for the rest, it's slower paced than Diablo. It's cool. You like all of the things that I'm showing you, but it's slower than Diablo. Pretty much, it's quite slow. The mana regeneration, as you can see, is on the slow side of things. The pacing of the combat is on the slow side of things. I like that. It's quite classic, like Diablo 2. It's quite classic, like Diablo 2. And so far for me, it's a perfect recommendation. And so far, it's a 10 out of 10. So far, this one is a 10 out of 10. See how big this map is, for example. It has an endless mode, an endless scenario mode. I looked at the options, and it has an endless scenario mode, so it will provide you thousands of hours. I don't know, here you can see that it says go online. I'm only playing it offline for the story. I like playing like that, but pretty much here I'll show you another map. But pretty much you may be able to play it online with other people, in that sense, like with Diablo 2. So it has a lot of versatility. Maybe if you want to play it with Ender, that you are both from the same guild and etc. I would highly recommend it. And well, regarding Drakensang, I don't know if you know what happened to me. I got to the Twisted Woods quest access, and it was broken. I had to wait a week, and I only resumed this week, as it was completely broken. You have the whole dialogue. That poor District, I always have to thank him. Another great viewer from Romania, District, that is the one who told me to analyze, to review drakensangonline. Precisely. He told me, I'll keep you posted on it. When they fix it, you'll know it. So So yeah, pretty much. I have to thank him for that. In that sense. So pretty much like that. The essence system. I have to show you the essence system. Wait. So how do you make items stronger in this game? You can see here. See that purple line there? Access? Well, that purple line is the essence capacity of the weapon or the gear. It can also be the gear here. So some items, as you can see there, by default the blue letters indicate you the natural capabilities of the item. This one has an increased 29 points of essence capacity. It increases the total amount. Well, and with that, it increases the bar. You can see that it's right in the middle there. Essence capacity 27 out of 49. You apply, this is how they handled item modifications. It basically, you loot essences, except that mutant fish, that is a quest item or something like that. These are essences that add different types of damage to the weapon or the armor in that sense. So, and they have an essence cost that starts filling the total amount. You have 6 classes, you have everything in the bots, you have 6 classes to choose from. I'm playing with the classic one, the Vampire Hunter, the first one that they released, but they started updating the game constantly. It's a game from 2015. But as you can see, it has amazing graphics. This Hungarian studio, Neocore Games, they developed their own engine for it. So pretty much it looks amazing. I had to cap the frame rate for the stream, but it has unlocked frame rates. You can play it at unlocked frame rates if you'd like. Pretty much. So it's quite good. Here I'll show you the dialogues a bit, because you need to see the good chemistry between the characters. How good it is between Van Helsing and Katarina. You'll see. It doesn't have a lot of side quest density. If I had to highlight a flaw so far, but maybe it surprises me with some other aspect of it. Here I killed all of the monsters, but they respawn. They will all respawn next time I open the game. So that's a lot of repetitive. But give me a second. I want to show you how good the chemistry between the characters is, at least for a second, because you'll see what I mean. Otherwise, it's difficult to explain. The music, the soundtrack is brutally amazing. As you can see, it leans more towards a mystery tone, because you're like a vampire hunter in that sense. It's more like a Sherlock Holmes-esque style, like you have like a contract to. Oh, I forgot about one here. You have like a contract to pretty much save the vampire. Ironically, that's the father of Van Helsing here, extinguished, I guess. But yeah, pretty much quite rich culturally. And here, let me show you the dialogue. Any random, even the most silly dialogue lines, you'll see.
Oh my, you look like something that the cat dragged in.
Private Antonov reporting, sir. Returning from the sewers, sir. I have grave news, sir.
Wait.
Bro, the graphics are awesome. It's from 2015. Yes.
What did you see down there? About 24
See those slight. Another thing, Axis. I was highlighting during the review. The dialogue lines, Axis. The dialogue lines are all short, concise, and interesting. It definitely makes a very good use of the story in an isometric action RPG, which is generally a secondary component. That surprised me of this game. It makes a quite good usage of that. It makes it quite. You can see that it has these slight camera panning movements to add dynamism. Regarding the graphics, it's from 2015. Bro, the graphics are awesome. It is. They used it is a AA studio, eh? Don't think that it's a AAA. It's a small.
Good work. I'll look into this.
Hungarian studio, precisely from the land of Patrick, from Budapest. Neocore Games. They developed the engine. They are the same creators of King Arthur 2. They use the same engine that gave them a lot of trouble with the first King Arthur game, as you can see. Well, if you play King Arthur is like Total War. King Arthur 2, the role-playing game, for example.
What brings you here, handsome?
I found these.
Look at the
strange
interactions with
flowers.
Katarina.
I thought, well, you might be able to use them for something.
This conversation makes me shudder, and I'm a ghost.
Well, like that is
Oh, that's
constantly.
nice. I'm right in the middle of preparing a magical concoction. I could use some lilies. Stay a while, and you can taste the magical concoction.
I can hardly wait.
And the potions are ready.
Oh, look at
Which
that.
one would you like to taste?
Oof. This one is interesting. You can choose. See, for example, every single quest has details like this. See, you can manipulate the stats of the character like this. Okay. You can increase mana. You can increase your ability points. you can pass. See, every single. This is a side quest. Nice, nice. Even the most silly of side quests are all like that. The attention to detail in this game is a huge surprise for me. Crowbar played it at as I told you, my oldest active viewer from the United Kingdom. If you're watching the bots on Tuesday, for example, he was here. He played this one and he voted for this one. It's absolutely fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. I wonder. There's one thing that I have to wonder: if the resource management in this game actually allows you to create a more positive ratio of mana regeneration, so the usage of abilities is more frequent, because so far it's scarce. So I will highly recommend it to you, Axis. Huh? So far, is this game multiplayer? I was commenting that. Give me a sec, I'll show you. I fancy this stinky seething blue slope. 15 mana, HP minus mana. 6 ability points is a lot. I'll take the
There is
ability
one
points.
with the color of bile. It must be a really potent drink.
Perfect. I'll take all of those ability points. Heavy repair crossbow. You can play the game offline or you can play it online. Now, I don't know if the servers are still online, huh? What kind of connection they used, so you can play with other people. For example, you could, as I was telling you, maybe you could play it with Ender. In that sense, I bet it must have some kind of peer-to-peer connection, huh? Here you have the option. Yes, it has like that, and it had seasons back then. The thing is, I don't know if they closed the server for Warhammer Inquisitor Martyr. If it's not this one, it's Warhammer Inquisitor Martyr, the one that is still active, that has offline and offline. If it's not this one, Warhammer Inquisitor Martyr by the same people. I don't know, if, maybe you don't like the Warhammer universe, but it is the same style of gameplay. As you can see, you can send your companion to sell stuff when you are not in town, when you're outside. That I bet you could. Maybe you can try and go and the peer-to-peer connection still works, and it's like Diablo. Let me check for a sec, because that's a good question. Let me check it for you. If you can do peer-to-peer connection. Because I don't know if the official server's closed for the other one, for Warhammer, for Inquisitor Martyr, that was a successor of this one. That's a good question you made there. If people can still play like in Diablo. Okay, 2023 at least, 2 years ago. I can't seem to log into an account. How do I play the multiplayer? Right here, so you know you can begin the account. You cannot log in. Yeah, you to play the multiplayer, you can connect to PCs on a local network. Commonly, this is done by having two computers connected. Yeah, but that's the same on the same house. Okay, you can play. It has a local multiplayer. okay, hosts the game, and the other one joins. If you want to play with someone over the internet, a virtual network can be used. I'm sure you've heard of application. Okay, no, okay. The online multiplayer, the modern version that we interpret, they close the servers. You have to use Hamachi, Garena, Xenotier, or others. Okay, no. You need to use a third-party solution because they close the servers. No, sorry. The online mode was sort of ranked mode with closed saves and competitive teams. No, it's a local multiplayer. It's not online. The one that you are probably asking me about. No, sadly, no. No. Then it's offline. Unless you are under the same house. It has a local multiplayer. It looks like they closed the servers. Then the one that you would maybe like is Warhammer Inquisitor Martyr. That is more modern. They couldn't pay for the servers, probably. If I had to deduce. They probably couldn't pay for the servers. It was like a rank with season system. No, it leans a bit more on the solitary side than... Unless it's local multiplayer like Diablo 3 or 2, well. It has it local, sadly. If you want something similar, Warhammer Inquisitor Martyr for you. Warhammer Inquisitor Martyr. Indeed. Warhammer Inquisitor Martyr. Okay, weren't we here? Looks like no. Wasn't this the abandoned factory? The enemy variety is amazing, as you can see. From Bodianois, from precisely the mythics, legends of Poland, the Bodianois, from these mechanic spiders to talking rats to different kinds of demons. The enemy variety is amazing. The Sikermatons. You have hardcore mode, but I would still recommend it even if the game doesn't have multiplayer, because you have... It has like an endless mode to it, like an scenario mode that I want to try. So it will entertain you for thousands of hours. In case you want a multiplayer version, as I've said, unless you want to use local, Warhammer Inquisitor Martyr by the same devs. That one must have the servers up and running. They do it like that. They keep the servers alive for some years and then sadly they close. That is the bad part of... I was debating this with Patrick. Online only games have that weakness. That then, for example, I don't know if you ever heard of Darkspore. That one closed and I always wanted to play it. Or Wildstar, for example. In that sense. So yeah, pretty much. I would suggest those. In that sense, you have Path of Exile. Ender loved Path of Exile. He commented to me when he joined, when he discovered the stream right before you. Pretty much Path of Exile. We need to do an analysis, a review of Path of Exile. In that sense. Or Last Epoch. District was quite hooked up to Last Epoch. That one was just released. Last Epoch. You love Path of Exile, Axis. Okay. I played the main story and stopped. If you like Path of Exile, then you will like the skill tree of this one, huh? It's the same, huh, people? It's the fucking same. Of course, Path of Exile, the skill tree is massive. I played it almost when it launched, Path of Exile. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah! And you laugh. It's the same, eh? I think Path of Exile is the one that revived the style of Diablo 2. Finally overcoming the terrible model of Diablo 3 that returned to the roots of Diablo 2. And I think that is irreplaceable. That is a feat that in retrospective was irreplaceable. Going back to the slower paced style of Diablo 2, more classic, than the floaty physics of Diablo 3 as well. In that sense, that's what I admire a lot about Path of Exile. In that sense, the complexity, the after complexity of the skill tree is amazing. Without a doubt, it was a spark of ingenuity that revived the genre. A lot of people forget a lot of people forget, anyone watching this as a YouTube bod, that the isometric action RPG genre was quite dead before the resurgence of Path of Exile modernly. We only had not even AA. We had indie productions before the resurgence of Path of Exile. In that period of time, in that transition between Diablo 3 and Path of Exile being released for the first time in 2012. In that period of time between 2008 and 2012, it was rough to find modern examples of isometric action RPG games with a lot of replayability. The indie scene saved us, pretty much. See how the usage of mana here is extremely slow. See how I ran out of mana almost immediately. It's more like classic Diablo in that sense. That's what I like about this game. It forces you to think strategically a bit about positioning. I'm playing on the hardest difficulty, on Fearless. You have it in the title. In that sense. So, pretty much. See, for example, there how fast the ranged attackers do it. Ah, the perk system. I'll show you the perk system. I almost forgot about that. Careful, we have a boss there. Careful. It has environmental damage like here. But you can see that I ran out of mana quite fast. I love it. Do we have the Sikarmatons active? Yeah, there they are. It's culturally quite rich, but let me show you the perks system. As you kill mobs in this game, I think I showed you all of them by now. Well, you have achievements and journals. No, I showed the new mob. The skill trees of you, of your own character, those of your companion, the passives here. It's quite simple. You have the details here in case you're interested in more details, but that's something that generally players want to explore on their own, I know. And the statistics here, pretty much. And alongside that, the skill tree that I showed you. Like with this one, you can make it like this. It's quite versatile. These auras, I still don't know what they are. Sorry, Axis, where I'm still in the early game. That's a question to answer for next time. I don't know if you just unlock them like this. I have 34 points, I don't know. But the perks system. Look at these ones. If you do the side quests in the game, you get fame. You get reputation here. I'm level 4 reputation. I'm just starting. And as you unlock reputation, you can get perks here that then you can add. For example, here I have a respawn rate for my companion. When she gets killed, she turns into a blue ghost. You must have seen it. And she provides just passives, but she doesn't act as a tank. She doesn't have it's not a corporeal entity. In that sense, it's quite realistic, the game regarding that. Here, for example, increasing the damage and etc. In terms of difficulties, on Fearless, it's the maximum I could choose for the first time, but then it has Inhuman 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can change them over at the main screen. I'll show you right at the end as I finish the stream, because otherwise the mobs will respawn. Basically, that. In that sense, you have several difficulties. As you level up, you unlock them. It's by level unlock. If you play on Fearless right from the beginning, as I'm doing, well, you can see that I should be already level 30 there. I should have unlocked Unhuman 1 by now, because I need level 30. For example, I could scale the difficulty right now. For the next stream, I was 29 up until recently. For example, like that. So you have several levels of difficulty. Sadly, only local online, according to what I just googled. And lots of replayability, that's for sure. You didn't know about this game. It's called The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing. Final Cut. Get the Final Cut on Steam. It's 3 games in one. It's a whole trilogy. They released the first one, then the second one, then the third one. Slowly. And then they released them all together in this one, which is the Final Cut version. pretty much. I think the reviews that I read at the beginning of the when I start a new case, I always read the reviews. I think they don't do it justice so far. Huh? So far, I would award it a perfect score, and I read some people giving it a 6 or a 4. I think that does not represent reality. It's a reason of my reviews existing. People like, how can you award this thing a 4 or a 6? It's beyond me. Maybe they played the first game and not the complete trilogy, and it was incomplete, and they got crazy at that. It has 6 classes. Some are more tanky than others. This is like the original class that they released for the game. I wanted to have the classic experience. But pretty much that's it. I think I covered everything for you. Pretty much. More or less, just so you have the idea. Besides what you are looking at on screen, the point-and-click system is extremely satisfactory. As you can see, it's brutally precise. You won't have point-and-click problems or floaty physics like Diablo. It has like weight to it. The movements do have a weight to it, sorry, to them. They have like weight. It's more like Diablo. It doesn't have those floaty physics of Diablo 3. It feels more like Diablo 2 in that sense. By the way, we were also debating about food here on stream in the previous days. I told them that my favorite dish is schnitzel. Random. But I also showcase food on a stream from time to time. Also, you see that the schnitzel in that sense. Beautiful. With cheese on top of it and everything. Thanks for the introduction. Okay, Axis. You have the bots in which I play the game slowly, but more or less in 30 minutes, I think I covered everything. Pretty much. Well, look at this. It has a lot of traps. Here you have the respawn system. You pay money to respawn at the checkpoint, like that. And pretty much, there you have a summary. You have 2 resources, as you could see. I think it's quite good. For example, this one is assigned to my right mouse button. Classic stuff. It has the environmental damage. It has some troll things. I wouldn't suggest making a hardcore character on this game. For this game, I wouldn't suggest doing a hardcore character. As you could see, you could die for no goddamn reason just because of a troll room like that one that wouldn't prove if you're good or not at the game. And pretty much that's it. No, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure reviewing the games for all of you. Okay, before I go, Axis, it's pretty late, and I have to attend to my birthday. I bet you understand. I will show you something. The difficulty here, I can show it to you from here. Here you have it. For I go Fearless. Then you have Unhuman Ordeal at level 25, Unhuman Ordeal 2 at 50, Unhuman Ordeal 3 at 70, 80, and Unhuman Ordeal 5. Here you have the explanation. Require level 90. It has up to level 100, more or less, so you have an idea. And you can switch it from here. It has a nice story, as I told you, of it. And pretty much, as you can see there, it allows you to log in, but I think the servers, as I told you, they are like that. What do you have? What do you have for the game? You have this adventure map, which is like endless mode. This is the mode that I would need to try to see if it finally... Hey, we're already at level 40. I could have sworn it was 30. It should let me play on Unhuman Ordeal 2 or what? Well, I don't know. This one is endless mode, basically. I think the option is here, but as I read, they closed the servers. I think it's only local. So yeah, pretty much. I would tell you that. It uses the companion system that I mentioned to you, so it has pretty much everything. This is what I have been mentioning to you. Here I have the Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing. You can see that in this period of time, I did the integral history of PC game genres here. You can see that until Path of Exile, which would be to 2012, look at this: Grid Black Border, Crater Shadows over Soulside, Blood Knights, Realms of Ancient War, Legends of Dawn. You can see that in the period of time between 2008, this is like 2008 to 2012. Like that, there was a scarcity of it. Nice desk. Yeah, I had to do it because I like it like in the 90s, with all of the icons lying around, because then otherwise this must happen to you. I felt like this. I had to open Epic Games. I haven't seen it yet. Okay, give me a second. My desk usually looks like this. Hang on a second. Here, I will show you. My desk usually actually looks like this. I deactivate the animated background for it here. I'll show it to you. I know you cannot see, for now. But my desk usually looks like this. You have it in the link of the integral history of PC game genres down here. If you want to, I go game by game. Here, I'll show you. I go game by game there. But since I cannot do that right now, here. I usually have it with a nice animated background that should kick in. Well, now it's kicking in. There's the icon, but it's taking a bit because with the stream is way too much. There it is. This is usually my desk. It's my work of art. It took me 10 years doing this. 10 years. As I was in law school, when I had free time, whenever I could, I slowly, if I had 1 hour of free time, I would dedicate to creating this. I go genre by genre, and as I hate the launchers, I thought, well, it must happen to you. I had to open uh, Epic Games, Epic Games to access a certain game. Then I had to open Steam to access a certain game. If for whatever reason I had no internet, that happened in the past 10 years due to local politics of Argentina. I won't get into that. There was a bankruptcy of the state and etc. And basically, internet, even if I live at the capital city, was a problem. It wasn't there all the time. Now the situation has gotten better, fortunately. For example, we didn't have fiber until 2 years ago, for example, like that. So, for example, I wanted to ensure that after I got the game on Steam, after I bought the game on Steam, then I would download the files, buy. Anyways, the hard drives, the mechanical hard drives are now cheap because everyone wants SSDs, and I would leave the game there. Mod it at my leisure. For example, um, here I have a modded version of Morrowind. Here I could customize the icons, and I have this if in the future I ever lose my incredible sight. I have pretty good sight. If I ever lose it, here, as you can see, as I hover over the icons, I can still see the which game we are talking about. And as you can see, it's a collection of 10 years, quite long. It's a work of my life. I have it backed up. Of course, I have it. I have a backup. I will suggest this one is a copy. For example, here I have reversed engineered MMORPGs that I did back then because of the unreliable internet connection. Everyone loves looking at these. For example, these are offline MMORPGs. I cannot play them on stream, sadly. I cannot showcase you the incredible mods that you can apply to them. This one is an incarnation of RuneScape. It's an offline modern version of RuneScape. This is an offline game. Then I have an offline version of Ultima. This is the first MMORPG ever released. Lineage 2, World of Warcraft, Ion. I need to try some of them. The Exile Realm, Farboria, Black Desert, Hellgate London. People need to try Hellgate London. Mythos. This one is a quite weird example. This Wayfinder. I will recommend this game to everyone. This one is a total hidden gem that no one has ever heard about. For example, the same for MOBAs. I played Heroes of the Storm a lot online back when I was in high school. Sorry, not in high school. When I was in my first year of law school, back in 2015. a lot of Heroes of the Storm, a lot, a lot. Um, but then I wanted to try other MOBAs, and you can only dedicate to one MOBA really in your life. Otherwise, you break the continuation of time and space. So, for example, here I have some offline versions of Demigod, which is a quite amazing offline MOBA, and well, of course, Total War and the rest. So yeah, pretty much. Hope it's enjoyable. I have a lot of offline versus bots mods because I'm way too old school. As you can see, I have a tendency for offline there because I have Star Wars: Your Republic. If I want online, I have Star Wars: Your Republic, just like you all have Drakensang. You cannot really dedicate more than to one online game fully unless, well, you only like the interactions and everything. So, well, Axis, sorry I cannot stay a bit more. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for the subscription, and your message warmed my heart about the birthday. That hope you have a great the here it is. The stream like the internet coffee graphic design. Oh well, it's a bit above. I couldn't see the message, but I remember it that about the birthday. All the best, lots of health, happiness, and of course, money. May you fulfill your dreams as you subscribe and make your wishes come true. Poland is with you, of course, of course. Most of my viewers are from Poland, and you're all amazing. You're all amazing. I have to send all of my wishes as well to Ambra that he started his first days at university, as I told you. But you as well. Yeah. Same for it's late here too. Axis. Whenever is your birthday, I hope you remind it to me so I can wish you the best as well, huh? Then you have to remind it to me. And you have to remind it to me. Or tell me because you never told me. If you like. If not, no worries. So I can wish you a happy birthday as well. But anyways, regardless of the birthday, um, of course, you will tell me whenever it is. But I wish you the best regardless of birthday. You are an incredible person, and thank you always for the vote of confidence in the stream. If you don't have time to watch them, the bots will always be there. And if for whatever reason you are busy for more than 15 days, I take the time to add timestamps to all of the streams, and you have them over at YouTube. About all of the games from the previous 4 years, and the ones that there's a delay, but they will always be there at YouTube, right there at the banner. So it's not that, because I know that a lot of people, you are not the only one, they don't have time and they have to work and etc. Axis, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thanks to Patrick, of course, that he visits me every single stream for his great company. Thanks to you for your company, Access. Thanks to Crowbar and to Pillow that also visited me this week, as well as District and Flying Energies. And I think I covered everyone. Thanks to anyone who might have taken the time to watch this as a Twitch bot or a YouTube bot in the future. To the 88th YouTube subscriber. Yeah, thanks. Xiao, all the best. Same for you, Access. Same for you. You're incredible. Thank you for visiting me, and visit me anytime. You will always be welcome. There's a majority of Polish viewers. So thanks to the 88th YouTube subscriber, we will do the Halloween special next time that District asked me about. The game that Crowbar asked me for review. Axis over at Discord. If you want any game for me to review, you type the name and see if I can get it, and you vote there with the rest, and we do so. So even if the poll closed, as I wrote you in the message, then I check Discord. People, it's been a pleasure. See you all next week. Have a great weekend. Wish you all the best. Bye, people. Bye. Thanks to all of you. Thanks for enjoying my streams and my reviews and our internet coffee chats, like Patrick said at the debates.